welcome to day 13 of the SOS free challenge, which has been very challenging, I have to say. I'm not terribly thrilled with this diet at all. So I meant to tell you guys this a couple of days ago and I totally forgot, but I thought this was kind of amusing. So, and it reminded me this morning, it's 3:53. I've been up for probably about 4 hours already. But I was editing video and it reminded me that I hadn't told you about this a couple days ago. So I had 2 day 6s. Oops. How I managed that, I don't know. But apparently I had a day 6, and on that day I went and we took the kids to the track and we jogged and walked for a couple of miles. And my one son, who has part of his schooling is that he has to be able to run a mile in, I think it's under 11 minutes and 51 seconds, I think is what it said. But he already runs it in just over 10 minutes. He's only 8, so I'm not too worried about how fast he's running a mile. But anyway, so anyway, we had done that, and then we came home and we hung out, and then we went to the pool, and it was freezing. It was so cold. And then we just hung out for the rest of the day, and then the next day I had another day 6, and that's the day 6 that you guys saw. I just thought that was super funny that I totally managed to have a day 6 2 days in a row, but it doesn't really matter. I just thought that was amusing. And I was editing video this morning and I was like, yeah, I never told them about that, did I? Oops. So a couple hours ago I had a bowl of rice and it was incredibly uninspired. So that was boring, but it was edible, and that's all that matters, right? I need to eat. You need food for sustenance. So I'm sustained for now. It's, like I said, it's 4 o'clock. I am going to make some muffins for my kids for breakfast. I'm gonna make some banana chocolate chip muffins, but the bananas aren't overly ripe, so I'm actually gonna probably add a little bit more sugar than I usually do. My kids are really good about not eating stuff that's super sugary. So usually I make 24 muffins and it has a cup of sugar in the whole thing, which the original recipe called for 2 cups of sugar in the whole thing, and I've just slowly over the course of a couple of years used less and less sugar. But with the bananas being not overly ripe, I probably will put another 1/4 cup of sugar in there just for that added sweetness. And then about 7:30, 7:45 we'll start school with the boys, and then about 10 o'clock I need to leave here. I'm taking my daughter down to down into Dallas. There's a place down there called the Huntington Learning Center, and we're going to go for a consult. And this is my oldest daughter, who's out of high school now and who's really struggling to pass the ASVAB. She's taken the real test once, and then she's taken it the test that you go to the recruiter's office to take 2 more times since then, and each time she's done better, but she's still not passing. So but her English skills she's really struggled with English, and she knows this. I'm not saying anything she doesn't know. She hasn't put as much effort into it over the last 6 years as she really needed to in order to really and truly be competent, even just basic reading levels. So she's aware of that, and she's not happy with herself for it at this point in time, simply because she would like to be moving on with her life. She's 19. She'd like to, be doing something more than what she's doing right now. But anyway, so that's fine. We're going to go down to Huntington. We'll have our consult, and then she'll schedule herself to go in and take their assessment, which will tell them exactly what areas she needs help working on, which is mostly English. They could probably help her a little bit and get her scores up a little bit higher for math and science too. That would be fine, but she's always done fairly well in science, and she's done fairly well in math as well, considering that she doesn't usually, she had very little education before we adopted her. They kind of gave up on her, didn't really focus a whole lot on her education, that she was just kind of there at the school that she was at. So it was kind of sad, shame for her that no one ever placed an importance on her education, because you guys know, if you have kids, they're never, okay, maybe some of them are super brilliant and would, but kids are never going to go out of their way to learn something new unless you have taught them that it's important to learn new things. Like, if you just let a kid kind of hang out and play video games and eat McDonald's all day long, they're not really gonna probably be like, what in the world happens when lightning hits sand and then there's something coming, a reaction, and what does that do? Most kids need a little bit of adult intervention to say, hey, have you ever thought about what do you think happens when, that kind of thing. At least that's my opinion. But if you have a kid that's just pretty much been given up on, are they really going to make the effort to learn themselves? Probably the majority of them are not, to be honest with you. So anyway, she pretty much was given up on a long time ago, and so she's starting to get to the point where she's realizing that she's worth it, and she's worth the time and the effort and the money that it's going to take to get her to where she needs to be. It just is. But she has to work hard to do it. And that's just it. She's going to have to work hard. So anyway, we're going to go do that at 10. And thankfully she doesn't have to take the whole test, because that would put us down there for like 4 hours. I'm not really interested in sitting there for 4 hours. She can drive herself down there and hang out for 4 hours and take the test. I don't need to be there for that. So anyway, we'll go for the consult, and she'll set up her time when she needs to go back and that kind of thing. So I did not, as I told you guys yesterday, I would. I'm very good at this. I'm going to, and then I don't. I am going to make the spring rolls for supper tonight, period. I'm going to. I didn't last night. I am going to tonight. So I do have one child that absolutely detests the rice wrap thingies when you make them, and they're kind of stretchy and whatever. He hates it, like with a passion. So I probably will make something different for the boys. And then the girls and my husband and I will have spring rolls. And my oldest daughter is highly allergic to peanuts, not like anaphylactic reaction type peanuts, but they make her super, super nauseous. And even just smelling, if she's too close to peanuts and she smells it, it will make her slightly nauseous. So eating them does not go well for her. So she has cashew butter in the refrigerator, so I'll make her a peanut sauce with cashew butter rather than peanut butter, so that'll be fine. And I might make sushi rolls for the boys so that they have like a wrap type concept too. I think that Owen and Connor would probably do okay with spring rolls, to be honest with you. It's just Preston who really detests them. And, you know, I'm very much this is what's for supper. It's good food. You're going to eat. And if you don't want to, you must not be hungry. Sorry, I just am. I'm not cooking 15 different meals because you're picky and you don't like something. But on the flip side of that, I do understand that some kids just hate some things. Like Samantha, my second oldest, she hates sweet potatoes. Okay, fine. If I'm making sweet potatoes, I'll make regular potatoes as well. I'll just pick them all at the same time, and she can have a regular potato rather than a sweet potato. Whatever. She hates them. I get that. She hates cinnamon. Okay, well, I'm not going to put cinnamon in the entire batch of rice pudding when I make it, knowing that she hates it. The two kids that can have, which two of my kids can't have cinnamon anyway, but the other two could, and they can just sprinkle it on top of theirs. No big deal. So I won't go out of my way to feed them stuff that I know they absolutely, absolutely detest. But, you know, we're having stir fry that has cabbage in it, and you're not a huge fan of cabbage. Sorry, it's in supper. It's not going to kill you. Just eat. You know, that kind of thing. I'm not super empathetic when it comes to, I don't like a vegetable. Tough luck. Eat it anyway. But that's just the way that goes in our house. It works really well, to be honest with you, because very rarely do my kids stick up their nose at anything. Really rarely do they have issues with anything. In fact, for Preston, I think those rice rolls are the only thing that he really hates. There are some things we make he doesn't love, but he'll eat it anyway. There are some things that my oldest daughter, she's kind of ambivalent about, but she'll eat anything you make her. It doesn't matter whether she likes it or not. She's not going to complain. My second oldest son, Connor, he's like that too. It doesn't matter what you feed him. And he's actually very diplomatic. If you feed him something he doesn't like and you ask him if he liked it, he'll be like, well, I didn't love it. It's very hard for him to come out and say, it was horrible. What are you thinking? You know, he won't do that. He's very sensitive. He's a sweet boy. But anyway, so I'm not sure. I won't be home for lunch at lunchtime because our appointment's at 11:15. But I will probably have a bowl of oatmeal before I go because that's super filling. So maybe about 9:30ish I'll have a bowl of oatmeal. And that's about it. I know I'm wearing a sweatshirt, guys. I know it's not winter time and it's 77 degrees in our house. So I get it. That's not cold. But I'm freezing. I'm so cold. But by the time I get the oven going and get some heat, 350-degree heat in this kitchen, I'll probably take my sweatshirt back off and I'll just have a t-shirt on again. But at the moment, I'm freezing. which could also be because I was sitting on the couch playing a game on my phone for about half an hour before I came to chat with you guys. That could be it too. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go. I'm going to do the video tonight of how to make the rice wrap and the stuff, and I'll tell you where I got that recipe from. And if there's anything else exciting going on today, I'll keep you posted. I don't think there's anything gonna be going on today that's super exciting, but like I said, I'll eat some oatmeal before I go, and I'll probably just put some unsweetened applesauce and raisins on it, because that's very, very tasty to me. I like that a lot. And yeah, tomorrow's a weigh-in day, and I'm really worried. You know, I had gained weight this last week. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen again. My clothes are just not quite as loose as they were a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure about that. I have to say, I have thought about this. I really have thought about this. The only thing that's truly different about what I'm eating now versus what I ate when I was on the low carb diet, on the rice diet, that's totally not low carb, right? On the rice diet, was that at that point I was only having one type of starch in terms of the major starches like potatoes, rice, that kind of grains, that kind of thing. So it was just rice. And now I do have a variety. Like I eat potatoes and I eat rice. I eat mostly rice still, but I do eat some potatoes. So there's that. And I eat fat stuff now. And I really do think it makes me fuller. I do think I get fuller for longer periods of time when I eat stuff that's higher in fat, like avocados or nut butters or things with nuts in them. But I think it's causing me to gain weight. I really do. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. I may just continue on with the rest of this challenge, doing strictly SOS free, and if it doesn't fall into that category, I'll eat it. Or maybe after this week, we'll see tomorrow what my weight is actually at, and then maybe do 2 weeks of SOS free, low fat. Which is really a bummer, because it's already bad enough, really and truly. I'm not digging this low salt thing at all. I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying, but it's not awesome. So anyway, that's that. I'll let you guys know what else is going on later. I'm going to go make some muffins and not eat them. And actually, I'll probably end up making granola bars too. I think the boys are out of granola bars, so that's something I need to make. And that's that. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a great day. Bye. And now we see a finished plate. I will get you a better picture of it than this. My goodness, this is terrible. But anyway, so we've got a roll with all of its nice little innards. And we've got a peanut butter sauce, and we've got some plain rice to eat with it. So I will get a better picture of this for you guys to see, because this is not quite pretty. And then I will, then I'll show you guys what it looks like when I eat it, but it'll be just a second because I gotta take a picture of it first, so hang tight. Alrighty guys, so moment of truth. First of all, the hard thing about these is to get them back off the plate, because they tend to stick to the plate, so good luck with that. And you just dunk it like this. That is excellent. If we could get all SOS free to taste this good, whew, we'd be doing great. Of course, you know, high fat, you kind of can't go wrong. So anyway, we're gonna go eat as a family. Hope you guys had a great night. Really do try this. And if you do try it, let me know in the comments if you had any better luck rolling these things, because they're kind of tricky. Anyways, have a great one, guys. Enjoy.